Hello everybody, what's up? I'm going to talk about dun 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 the Mirena IUD. This, believe it or not, is my own. And people say, "Oh, why are you handling something that was in your body?" Well, number one, I'm not going to floss with it, and number two, it's clean. I did clean it. So anyways, I wanted to save it so I could show you all the size of it and what it looks like and the fact that it is flexible and things like that. But I'm going to tell you my experience because since 2004, I had a total of 4 IUDs. I replaced them every 5 years. And then I turned 55, and I'll tell you my experience when I had my last and final one removed. So the first one, I had it inserted. They use two instruments. The first one is to measure. It's like a rod. They measure up into your cervix to make sure they have the correct height. And then the second instrument has the IUD. Put it in, insert, it opens up, etc. So you feel it. But the worst thing is when you insert anything up into your cervix, it contracts as if you are going through labor. So the muscle contracts because it's a foreign object, and it's having the instrument inserted into your cervix, even if it's a little, is very, very tough. My suggestion is you take a strong medication. I was able to drive to and from, so take a strong enough medication to take the edge off, because this can be overwhelming to the point where you might want to pass out. So it feels like it's fire. That's what it felt like to me. I don't know how else to describe it. Fire and cramps, and it's tough. So the insert, the first one, I just relaxed on the table, was able to drive home, took the day off, decided I would just lay in bed all day and let it settle, and that was it. And then within a month, I had no cramps, I had no PMS, I had no periods. I was done. In mid-30s, I was done having menstrual cycles, which was a godsend for me. My periods had always been light, so 2-3 days, and mine were normally done. So anyways, I had the first one taken out. First one was put in 2004, 2009. Get this one out, have the second one put in. Same exact experience, but this time I was more prepared. But since I stopped menstruating shortly after the first one, what we forget is there's a lot of old menstrual blood that built up over those 5 years. When you have the first one taken out, second one put in, I started to have old menstrual blood expelled from my body, as if I was having it was like old blood clots or whatever. So that was tough. The odor it was tough. If you're used to being clean, the odor can be really tough. You have to use tampons, pads, etc. until it clears. It took about 2 weeks for those to clear. And then I was free and clear in the second one. And then I had the second one replaced, the third. Didn't really have the same expulsion with the menstrual blood after that. And then I was okay and good to go. So since I stopped menstruating in my 30s, I didn't know. I asked the doctor, will I get menopause symptoms? And she said, probably not. So when I was in my mid-40s into my third IUD, the only symptoms I had during perimenopause were intense itching, which lasted a while. That in and of itself is one of those things where you think you don't want to live like this anymore. I started to itch. My whole body itched every night, every day. That was really tough. Nothing helped. It just eventually subsided. So I don't have any answers for that. But anyways, I was on my fourth IUD, so up until 2019. And then all of a sudden, here I am, I'm 55, and it's time to replace this. Went to the doctor recently, and I said, all right, if I replace this, or if I take it out and remove it, am I going to have a period? And she said, most likely not. Normally, you're probably through with menopause. You'll probably be free and clear. And so I was paranoid as heck. I'm not going to lie. I didn't want to have periods again. I didn't want to have cramps. I didn't want to have PMS. So I had to trust the doctor. And everyone said, it's time. You've had 4 of them. It's time to let your body recover from this. So she took this out. It's uncomfortable when you get it removed. Of course, it's a foreign object. Took it out, and I had a little bit of spotting. So I wore a light maxi pad for a day, and then I was free and clear. I haven't had any swelling, bloating, weight gain, PMS, mood shifts, etc. Free and clear. So anyways, this is it. You can see it's not too long. This is flexible. These are flexible. You know, these are down, and then when it goes in, it opens up and sits in front of your fallopian tubes, and then it releases hormones here. But this is the string. The string, if you reach up inside of you, you can feel the string. Plus, the doctor can check to make sure there's proper placement. So, yeah, so this is what I wanted to show you guys because I thought it was really important you hear from someone who's, I'm not saying I'm a pro, but I have experience with the Mirena IUD. It was a perfect birth control for me. It was very effective. It's 100% effective for me. Again, if you're with a new partner, use condoms, or female condoms, I should say. Protect yourself. Just because you have the IUD in doesn't mean you're not going to be susceptible to STDs, because since there is a string here and this is up into your cervix, chances are if you get germs, they're traveling. So you don't want to have germs. So make sure you protect yourself. But anyways, that's my experience. It was a godsend for me. This was my last and final, so I told the doctor I want to keep this so I could do a video. So anyways, that saved my life, and I'll be back.